Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. Today, we are looking at an absolutely fascinating and honestly highly important topic, especially if you are a BA first-year history student. We are going to completely break down Chapter 8, the Gupta Empire. If you're prepping for your exams right now, you are in the exact right place. We're going to take this massive, comprehensive period of history and make it totally accessible, clearly structured, and incredibly engaging. We're getting rid of the dry textbook feel and really getting into why this matters. So grab your notes and let's get into it.
Let me start things off by asking you a quick question. Did you know there is a very specific period in ancient Indian history that is famously referred to as India's Golden Age? Think about that phrase for a second. A golden age. It was a time when art, literature, science, and overall culture experienced absolutely massive progress. We're talking next-level advancements. But what exactly was that era? Well, it was the Gupta Empire.
Okay, let's map this out so you know exactly where we're headed. Here is our exam-oriented roadmap for this chapter. First up, we'll establish what India's Golden Age actually means. Number 2, we'll look at the rise of the Gupta dynasty. Third, we are going to explore a true military genius, Samudragupta. Fourth, we'll cover Vikramaditya and a very famous Chinese traveler who visited his court. And finally, we will wrap the whole thing up with the empire's decline and our final conclusion.
Starting off with our first major section, India's Golden Age.
To really wrap our heads around this era, we have to zoom out and look at the broader historical context. Which brings us to a really big historical mystery, right? Why was the Gupta Empire so important? What made it stand out from all the dozens of other empires that rose and fell throughout history? Well, the answer lies in a very rare combination. They uniquely combined incredible, rock-solid political stability with an unmatched cultural explosion. You see, usually a kingdom is so busy fighting wars to survive that they don't have time for art or science. Or they focus on culture but get wiped out by a stronger army. The Gupta Empire managed to do both. They secured the realm and then they flourished, setting an incredibly high benchmark for all future generations.
Moving right along to Section 2, the rise of the Gupta dynasty.
Let's move to this timeline and see how this builds. Because this kind of power certainly didn't happen overnight. It's like building a house. It was constructed carefully across 3 distinct generations. In the first generation, we have Chandragupta I. He holds a very special place because he laid the foundation. He truly established and strengthened the core state power. He put the Gupta name on the map, politically speaking. Then, in the second generation, his son, Samudragupta, took the reins, and he took that solid foundation and expanded it immensely through sheer military conquests. He was the muscle. Finally, we get to the third generation, led by Chandragupta II. Because the borders were so secure from his father's conquests, his reign is where the empire reached its absolute cultural zenith. He essentially decorated the house that his father and grandfather built. Focusing in on that highly dynamic second generation for a moment, we have to ask, why is Samudragupta called a great conqueror? I mean, history is full of fierce warriors and ambitious kings. What exactly did he do to earn a title that massive? Let's take a look.
Section 3, Samudragupta, the Great Conqueror.
So Samudragupta wasn't just a ruler, the guy was a massive military mastermind. His victories literally transformed the map of ancient India, bringing vast, incredibly diverse territories under one single unified umbrella. Now, as history students, you should always be asking, how do we actually know this? What's the proof? Well, this is an absolutely crucial, exam-oriented fact you need to commit to memory right now. Our primary historical proof of his extensive conquest comes from a very specific text called the Prashasti. This was written by his court poet, a man named Fa-Hien. You can think of this document as essentially his official, detailed resume of victories. It's a written record of his conquests across various regions, and it provides undeniable historical proof of his immense political and military might. If you get a question on Samudragupta, you have to mention the Prashasti.
But as we mentioned earlier, the story of the Gupta Empire certainly doesn't end with military conquest. Following Samudragupta, we see the rise of that third generation, another legendary ruler whose name is still incredibly famous even today. And that raises the question, why was Chandragupta II given the legendary title Vikramaditya?
And just as importantly to historians, who was the foreign traveler that visited India during his rule? You see, it's one thing for an empire's own court poets to say how great they are, but international historical records from this era give us an amazing, outside, unbiased perspective on just how prosperous this empire really was.
Let's jump into Section 4, Vikramaditya and the Chinese traveler. The era of Chandragupta II, who adopted the title Vikramaditya, was a period of immense cultural growth where civilization truly flourished. And to answer our earlier question about outside sources, we know this for a fact because of the famous Chinese traveler Fa-Hien. His accounts are vital historical records. Fa-Hien essentially did an extensive tour through India and reported back in detail on the social and religious life of the people. Through his travel writings, we learn that the society wasn't just surviving, it was highly prosperous, remarkably peaceful, and deeply engaged in cultural and educational development. The crime rate was incredibly low, and the citizens were happy. It's an amazing external validation of the Golden Age.
Now, what's really fascinating about this slide is the sheer scale of their achievements. Imagine a society that isn't just powerful in war, but is making massive, world-changing leaps in human knowledge at the exact same time. On one hand, you have Kalidasa. He is creating magnificent literary works, incredible plays and poetry, and establishing deep artistic traditions that are celebrated to this day. On the other hand, totally separate from the arts, you have Aryabhatta. He is practically revolutionizing science with incredibly advanced mathematics and astronomy, dealing with concepts that were way ahead of their time. And this right here brilliantly illustrates our main point. This simultaneous growth in entirely distinct fields, art and hardcore science, is exactly what created the Golden Age. It wasn't just about political dominance, it was absolute intellectual brilliance across the board.
Which brings us to our final section, Section 5, Decline and Conclusion.
Look, like all great empires in human history, the Gupta Empire eventually faced its end. This was due to a mix of internal weaknesses over time and relentless external pressures from invading forces. But for your university preparation, the crucial point is this list right here. When you are studying this chapter, these bullet points are your specific exam-focused takeaways. Make sure you can do the following. You must know your historical sources, particularly Harisena's Prayag Prashasti. You need to be able to outline the multi-generational rise of the dynasty, starting with Chandragupta first. Be fully prepared to detail Samudragupta's military victories, the glorious, peaceful reign of Chandragupta II, and the vital objective insights we get from Fa-Hien's visit. Lastly, make sure you can confidently explain both the amazing cultural achievements of folks like Kalidasa and Aryabhatta and the general causes of the empire's eventual decline. Literally, if you master these specific bullet points, you have mastered the entire chapter.
Before we wrap up, I want to leave you with this final, provocative thought. Think about Aryabhata's foundational math or Kalidasa's timeless literature for a second. How do the cultural and scientific achievements of the Gupta Empire continue to shape modern Indian society today? The echoes of this golden age are actually still very much with us, influencing everything from the stories we tell to the very math we use in everyday life. It's pretty amazing to think about. If you found this chapter breakdown helpful for your studies, please hit that like button, share it with your classmates so they can ace the exam too, and subscribe for more chapter-wise notes and clear explainers. Keep studying, keep learning, and I will see you in the next one.